Yo, you already know the score. It's your big dog, Fatty. Outside looking inside, surviving prison. Let's get it popping. Gia. So right back at it. You know what I'm talking about? You know what we do around this time. Hit that like. That don't like. However you feel. Your feelings. And your feelings are validated. You know what I'm saying? You allowed to feel how you want to feel. Feel that. But just because you feel that way, you ain't got to pull nobody else in to make them feel that way. Unless you're trying to spread some positive energy. Like, we ain't trying to spread no negativity or nothing. Like, if I hop on here and I talk about something that I did in there, a little story, something that I went through, a fight or something that I went through, or something, I'm just explaining, like, the type of things that go on in there, type of stuff that I went through in there. So it's therapeutic for me, and it help other people. So I mean, the comments prove it. I got a bunch of comments, and so I'm gonna hop right into them. Matter of fact, so somebody asked me, when did you come home? So I ain't saying no names or nothing, but if you send a comment and you don't mind your name being said or whatever, or a shout out to something you got going on, your IG, a clothing brand or whatever, put that in there. I shout it out. You know what I'm saying? If you got a clothing brand, you want to send me something, holler at me, let me know. You feel me? Outside looking inside, surviving prison, you understand me? So this happened in this one question is, when did you come home? So I came home November the 1st, 2017. November the 1st, 2017 was my birthday. I'm 7 years old right now. No problems, no issues with the law, no nothing. I actually, well, yeah, nothing at all. I got pulled over, traffic ticket. Worst I had was like a camera ticket, $150 camera ticket. I had about 2 or 3 of them. I be like, when I hit this one spot on the freeway getting home, I be having tunnel vision. I want to get home so fast, and I be having my music on. I just be floating. They done put a camera up on my silly self, so I gotta slow down. It's like 60. I'll be doing like 75 around that corner, but yeah, I gotta slow down. But other than traffic ticket, I ain't had no issues with the law at all whatsoever. Ain't no reason to. I ain't in the mix. I'm living my life how I'm supposed to live it. The normal way. I'm living my life normal. This is really normal. The other way that I grew up, how I grew up, that was really abnormal. I grew up in the mix. I remember when I was little, and my dad had me in the crack house, in the back room with the prostitutes. You feel me? Type stuff. So it wasn't always like, yeah, it was always like that with my dad, but it wasn't like that with my mom at all. My mom, she ain't had no idea. I never even let her know no type stuff. And like, for real, she gonna see this, but we could talk about whatever. It is what it is. So yeah, I came home 2017, been home, no problems, no issues with the law. I actually, every job that I applied for, in the beginning, I was getting hired. I got hired like off the rip. I came home because I had little stuff together. Then I got in this program called Tours Employment in Cleveland, and they helped me do my soft skills, tighten up my soft skills, resume writing, interviewing, making emails, how to call and leave messages, how to do follow-ups, how to do cover letters, how to do all that type stuff. And I was doing a little bit of it when I was incarcerated, the little bit that I can get coming home. But going through that program helped so much. And then at the end of that, they yeah, I did. So when you graduate, you do a mock interview. I went through, I think it's 4 weeks. I went through the intense, which was only like 2 weeks, because I already had started working on my soft skills, some of them before I came home, and I had some stuff established already. So I was able to go through the intense. And then when I was done, I was scheduled to do a mock interview. So you got to dress for success. They got a little closet and everything. If you're going through the program and you don't have no clothes, no interview attire, they have a closet to let you go in there. You can borrow clothes from there and do your interviews and stuff. So at the graduation, before you can graduate, everybody got to do a mock interview. But what it really is, it's a real interview, and you can get hired. So I got hired at mine, and I've been working ever since. I was working at a place called Evergreen, little corporate laundry company, folding stuff. And then I got hired at app. From there, I went to Amazon, and from there, I was but everything was clicking for me. They was letting me DoorDash. They only thing they ain't let me do was drive Uber. So yeah, I had a bunch of jobs. Every job I applied for, I got, except for probably the only one, the one I ain't get was Uber. They ain't let me drive Uber. They ain't let me drive Uber, but I did DoorDash. I did a whole bunch. I had a bunch of jobs. I worked at Amazon. I did Amazon Flex. I had a few jobs. Evergreen. Yeah, I had a bunch of jobs. I worked from time I came home. That was the mission. I had everything set up. I took all the steps, learned the resume, learned everything that I needed to do to get a job, and I applied it, and everything worked. For a lot of people, it don't work. A lot of people, they just use the "it don't work" excuse because, you know what I'm saying, that's working for them being lazy. And but for real, if you just get up and you apply yourself and you do the right, and like you can't be thinking like, soon as I get a job, I'm gonna be getting paid 50 an hour, or I ain't working. But dudes, you ain't even got a GED. You don't have any. You don't have nothing. You don't have nothing. You don't even know how to sweep and mop good. You know what I'm saying? So, but sometimes you got to do some things that you don't want to do in order to get where you want to get, and so that's just for that. But hopping back into these comments, I had a. Let me say, hey, I appreciate your content. I'm a reentry coach here in Cleveland and have a difficult time finding qualified therapists who understand the issues people have. Okay, I'm sorry, I butchered that. Let me start from the beginning. Hey, I appreciate your content. I'm a reentry coach here in Cleveland and have a difficult time finding qualified therapists who understand the issues people released from extended sentences have. I appreciate a few resources if you wouldn't mind. Thanks a lot for all you do. Yeah, I butchered that. I ain't got my glasses on. I wasn't even planning on reading that, but so get into the resource. A good resource that I recommend, I went through this real quick, is a place called Cornerstone of Hope. Cornerstone of Hope is like grief counseling, but I guess that qualified under grief counseling, in my opinion. You know what I'm saying? He went through grief things. Yeah. So, in my opinion, but yeah, Cornerstone of Hope. Check Cornerstone of Hope out. That should be good. That should be a good one. Okay, so moving on. Dang, I ain't got my glasses. Let me blow this up so I don't butcher this one too bad. This one kind of long. So I need help. My fiance is currently locked up for murder in Georgia, and he has a life sentence. Back in 2005, he was convicted of murder, and during that time, the life sentence then was 14 years and got +5 for aggravated assault, and the remainder 15 years on probation. Now he has done all his time. I'm not sure if you know about Georgia laws or if they are pretty much standard across the board. But why is he not out yet? I keep hearing that the board feels like he hasn't done enough time, but I know that's total BS because he has done that. I have been watching your videos and I have been telling him what he needs to do. I told him that I need him to write a parole plan, get his GED, and take all the reentry courses. And honestly, I think that's not what's holding him back. And honestly, I think that's what's holding him back from getting out. And when I tell him this, all I'm hearing from him is excuses on top of excuses. All right, so I had looked up some stuff in Georgia because no, Georgia is definitely different from Ohio. But I looked up some stuff from Georgia, and it say on here, if someone is sentenced to life in prison with possibility of parole in Georgia for a sentence imposed from January 1st, 1995 and June 30th, 2006, the inmate is first eligible for parole after 14 years. And for a life sentence imposed after June 30th, 2006, the inmate is first eligible for parole after 30 years. So you said he got sentenced in 2005. He was sentenced back in 2005. He was convicted of murder. Okay, so that means he eligible for parole after 14 years. Being eligible for parole don't mean you coming home. That means you eligible to come home. You eligible, um, but it's gonna be dependent on some stuff, a few things, a bunch of things for real. Because remember, or if you don't know, this is something to think about. The parole board only has everything negative that said individual has done. They don't have none of the good stuff. None of the good stuff. They just got the crime that was committed. They might have victim statements. They might have they might have indictments, but they gonna have your sentence and they gonna have your institutional performance. They gonna have everything. So your institutional performance is, are you getting tickets inside of there? So a ticket is if the CO asks you to do something or tell you to do something and you don't do it, you say I ain't doing it, and they write a disrespect ticket. This on this day and time, the inmate was disrespectful. He did not follow a direct order, and bam, here go a ticket. You can go to the hole, you can get cuffed up and took to the hole for that, or you can get sent to your sergeant, and then it could be other things. They can put you on cell restriction. You will be locked in your cell, or give you extra duty. You got to clean up, or a whole bunch of other little stuff. But those are called tickets, and you can get ticket for little stuff like that, disrespecting, refusing to work. It's so much stuff just on the CO discretion for real. However the CO write it up, whatever the CO say, however the CO feel. So it's gonna depend on that. It's gonna depend on, did he address any of his issues? If he in there for murder, did he go to victims awareness? Did he go to anger management? Did he do any thinking for a change? Did he do, because all of them programs everywhere, them programs lightweight universal for real for prison. If you in there for violence, you know what I'm saying? If you in there for violence, every prison that I went to in Ohio, I'm gonna say, and I'm gonna say universal because I done talked to people that's been in the feds and everything. So all that's there. I think the only thing that's different, kind of, that I know offhand different in the feds is like some type of drug. If you got drug cases, you could take a drug program and your time get cut in half or something like that. But yeah, it sounds like he eligible for parole after 14 years. But if he ain't got no GED, he ain't took none of the programs and nothing. He ain't about to come home. That's why he ain't came home. You eligible for parole after 14 years. I mean, I don't mean you gonna get no parole. That's what I was thinking when I first got locked up. See, up here it's 15 to life with a 3-year spec. So just without the 3-year spec, I was eligible to go to the parole board after 11 years 6 months. With the 3-year specs, that made me have to do 14 years and 6 months to the parole board, and that was just to go in there and just talk to them to see if I was eligible, and that's when they gave me 57 months. They gave me 57 months based on 14 years of my institutional record. Yeah, they gave me that on based on 14 years. So if He been locked up for 14 years and he about to go up to the parole board. They about to go with every single thing that he did throughout them 14 years. Yeah, every single thing. I don't care if he messed up in the first, if he was messing up in the first 3 and then the last 11 he was cool. You got to answer for them first 3. That's how they do. That's how they was doing people up here in Ohio. You know what I'm saying? Maybe they don't do it like that out there, but that's definitely how they doing it in Ohio. And reading this, and it say like he eligible after 14 years. So yeah, good luck to him. Holla at me. Hope I helped you. If you want to know some more, holla at me. I'm on here. You already know the scope. Outside looking inside. Excuse me. Surviving prison. Hit that like or that don't like. Subscribe to the channel. It's gonna help. Man, I've been thinking about shortening the name too, because when I be trying to type it in, or it be saying, so I could just go to my YouTube studios and type it in now, but I know some people was trying to type it in and it's kind of long. Outside looking inside, surviving prison. So I was thinking like, what I say? The victory lap. LAP, life after prison. Victory LAP, life after prison. The victory lap, you feel me? Let me know. Hop in the comments. Let me know if you like that. Let me know if I should keep that. Outside looking inside, surviving prison. It's your big dog, man. Holla at me. What else I wanted to politic about? Let me see. Oh, how many fights have I been in when I was in prison? I had, like, literally, this ain't no cap. I had too many fights to count. Like, I remember I was like an amateur fight brawler in there for real. Like, some days I had like 2 fights. No cap. When I was messed up. I was young. So I was young, real young. I was 19, a fresh 19. I was super wild. I was put in prison. I was put in prison for murder, and I really ain't know what to expect. I was scared. I was petrified. That's what it was. I was petrified, and I just refused. I was refusing to be a victim. I was refusing to be a victim, and I just overdid it. Like, and then when in Rome, the environment I was in was so messed up and negative and so gruesome, and I was coming in with the attitude that I had to, so I just, it was what it was. It was what it was. I did a lot of stuff. Even when I think about that last post when I posted the fight, it's a bunch of stuff in there. Like, if you just on the outside looking in, it's like it's a bunch of stuff that could have got done differently to resolve that. Yes, I agree, it was, but that's on the outside looking in. But inside of that situation, inside of prison, like I was saying, that type of stuff can get you ate alive if it ain't addressed. Like, I lost a lot. I lost a lot in that little riot right there. That little thing that got me rolled out. I lost a bunch. I lost a bunch. But when I go back and think about it, it's like it really wasn't nothing I could do. It wasn't, because they was in the gang. They was in that gang, and dude was in that gang, and can't let no chink show. And then I'm saying I'm big dog too. I'm big dog, so you see a chink in big dog, they gonna eat, they gonna nibble. And I had everything that you can have in the penitentiary. Everything that you can have in the penitentiary and more, I had it. I had it. I had it. For real. Over there in my area, just over there. And ain't nobody touching it or nothing, just walking right past it. And I'm in a dormitory. I'm in a dormitory where you can easily just walk in and grab something and walk off, but ain't nobody touching it. There's people watching it for me. They taking it upon themselves to watch it for me. So as soon as I lose that, if I lose any of like my anything, it's over with for me. Told you I'm walking around in Crocs. You don't get to walk around in Crocs and socks like that all day, every day. Like, you feel me? That's prison. But you gotta be there to know. If you was in there, then you know what I'm talking about exactly. So, um, yeah, I had so many fights in prison. But then around that time though, I had chilled a lot. I was chilling. I was really, really, really chilling around that riot, that Richland riot. But it was another little riot too that I was in. Little quick little melee, and that was I don't know. I ain't gonna talk about that right now. But outside looking inside, you feel me? Then y'all know what the business is. You understand me? Hit that like or that dislike. Subscribe to the channel. You know what? Let me see. Scariest time in prison. Oh, I talked about a scary time, but let me see. What was my scariest time in prison? Shit, my scariest time was getting there. For real, I was scared to death. Just getting there and seeing it. It looked like the projects. That's the first thing came to my mind when I got on the compound. It looked like the projects. It looked like the projects. Then they took us in the room. We all shackled together. Oh, so this is a crazy story. So riding from Lorraine, that's where you go and get your number and stuff in Ohio, well, from Cleveland. So Lorraine, we riding from Lorraine. We on the bus. I'm shackled. My dude who I'm shackled to, he's sitting next to me. So he acting like he tough as nails. You understand me? So he acting like he's so tough. Look over, I ask him, I say, man, you in the gang? I can't make it up. Dude said, I'm the leader of the Bloods, cuz. I said, man, don't tell nobody else that. Don't tell nobody else that, man. So yeah, we get to where we going. Needless to say, when we get separated, because we in the back, R&D, getting our dress down. They giving all of us our paper. Boom, I'm going to pod 4A. Everybody going to get their paper. So everybody asking, what pod you going to? Oh, I'm going to this pod. What pod you going to? Oh, I'm going to this pod. What pod you going to? They ask him. They say, what pod you going to? He tell them. They like, oh, we heard that's the crazy pod. Niggas be getting booped over there and this and that and the third. So don't nobody know what's going on. I'm scared about my pod. I'm scared myself, so I ain't doing too much of nothing. And man, not too long after, he done got beat up and raped. Like, yeah, they did. I ain't never know what he was locked up for or whatever, but just being shackled to him and how he was acting, I knew he was pump faking. And they ate him alive. But I had put a video on here about my first day. And when I got in my cell, Jazz man put them Debbie's on my bed and tried to get out on me. That's something. If you go to prison, I don't know how they doing it now, but I know back in the day, and for new people, they used to put, you know what I'm saying, valuables, prison valuables in your area on your belongings or something. And if you eat it or use it or whatever, then you owe down. And owe down can be you owe double or you owe your sexuality. So, and that happened to me on my first day there. And I wasn't going. I was not going. No, sirree, do Bob. I got a video about that. It's on my channel. Check me out. But outside looking inside, you feel me? Holla at your guy. It's your big dog. It's your big dog, man. Act like you rocking with me. Act like you mess with me. You heard me? Stay safe, man. I'll be back in a minute. Ready, though.